everyone. Today we're going to be trying something a little bit different with videos. Oh, speed bump there. We're going to be doing a little bit different. We're kind of doing an on location video for something a little bit different. But today I wanted to talk about a situation or event that happened about 20 years ago. I'm in Hutchinson, Kansas, which is the town I grew up in, and a town I'm very, very familiar with. But thought I'd show you a significant part of this town's history from an event that happened about 20 years ago. We're going down this road right now, and seems to be storage units on the right. On the left, we got, it seems like a field. Well, it seems like a field, but if you look here, we got a trailer park. Now, the significance of this trailer park is back in 2001, about 20 years ago, Hutchinson had a terrible natural gas explosion, and it resulted in the death of 2 people after a opening of some sort going to this natural gas channel. Basically erupted underneath a trailer in this very trailer park. Now, after doing a little bit of research, I have not been able to find the exact location of where this trailer was, but I have reason to believe that it was somewhere in the area I'm standing right now. I believe it was either in one of these 3 stalls right here. It was either this one right here with the shed boxing, this one here where I currently have my truck parked, or this one. The reason why I think that is the case is because I found a kansas.gov web address that had a map where it showed all the explosions were specifically, and there was another one in downtown Hutchinson, which is where I'm going to be going next. But the map has a little red triangle where the location of the explosion was, and the explosion was almost perfectly perpendicular with this road here. You can't zoom in much further than what you can see, but you can see this road here, and then you can see that road, and it's almost perpendicular, so it leads me to believe that this right here is the exact location for that explosion. Now, I can't seem to find any sort of like evidence. Of course, it's been 20 years, but there was a hole which is like I don't know, probably maybe a few inches in diameter, and it was just in some dirt, and I really don't know if there'd be anything there nowadays or if it's been filled in or what exactly, but I believe it was over here. There's a shed here, over here. You could definitely see some cracks on the shed, so it really makes you wonder if these cracks were from the explosion. You never know. Who knows how old this shed is, though, so they could have just happened over time. Another one of those holes. I'm not entirely sure what those are. This one here's got a spigot in it. A bunch of leaves, but it's got these like weird plastic rope things. I wonder if they're almost like plastic tubing. I wonder if that's there to warn people about the hole. The thing I find interesting is there's 2 power lines, or like power station things per area. So there's one there, there's one right there, and there's not really enough room to have like a trailer there. So I was really wondering if maybe there was some in the grass over here at one point. I'm not entirely sure. There's another one of those holes. This one was covered up by this like partial brick there. I'm gonna cover it back up here in a second, but this is perpendicular with that road like I thought. So I really think this right here is where the trailer was that the 2 people unfortunately died in. The explosion, or the blowhole essentially where the gas came from that ignited, was under the trailer. So it would probably be around in this area somewhere. And I'm really curious if there's maybe any signs of it. And I'm not seeing anything so far. Now, if you come to this location and you're wondering exactly where I'm at, this is stall number 113 in this section here. Now, I could be wrong on this assumption, but I'm now starting to think that it could be this spot right here. And the reason for this is because I was looking on this website, the same .gov website where I saw the map of the locations of where the explosions were. And they had a picture of the debris from the trailer that exploded. And the firefighters were all in this area right here. There was just nothing but rubble. But I believe you can see this trailer in the background. And there's a power line. You can't really see it now because of the tree, but it's about right here. And I believe you can also see that power line, which leads me to believe that I think right here is where the trailer was that exploded. This will also explain this this concrete damage over here. And this is the one with that concrete shed that I was wondering if maybe that's because of the explosion, all these cracks and stuff. And I'm starting to think that this could very well be the exact location of the gas explosion. This one right here is actually 115. Again, I can't find anything. I can't even find on the Hutchinson News like what stall or what the address was of that trailer. But 115 is the stall where I'm starting to think it was that one. Now, this trailer park is still in use today. There's still people that live here. However, the other front half of it seems to be used now for RV parking or temporary RV staying. Elevators there. Typical Kansas scenery. Seeing all this damage on the ground really makes you wonder where the actual hole was that was basically used as the chamber or the barrel to make this natural gas fly in the air into this trailer. I really don't know where the actual hole was. You know, it's strange because you have that damage over there, then you have this like hole here, which is like a dug hole. Then you have that there. It could have been anything over here, you know. I would believe that it would probably be in the where the trailer was, because it destroyed the entire trailer. There was nothing left of the trailer. It was just debris and damage. So I'm not entirely sure where the actual hole was, but I think it was right here somewhere. I only moved here about 2 years after the gas explosion happened, so I knew of its existence later on because everyone talked about it in school. We learned about it in school here, but they never talked about the specifics of where the actual explosion was. All I knew was in a trailer park of some kind here in Hutchinson. So later on, I did enough research to actually find out which trailer park it was because I was curious. And I actually didn't know this trailer park existed until I did that research. It's kind of tucked away in more of the industrial area of Hutchinson, probably about a mile west of the airport. So it's kind of a little bit out there from the rest of the city. Now, the gas explosion happened January 19th of 2001. So like I said, it's been 20 years since this has happened. And it's crazy to me how there's almost no remnants of it other than the cracks in the shed and the damage on the concrete. There is no remnants of it. Now imagine if you metal detector or something, you probably find all sorts of debris and damage everywhere. But I can't even find like the hole that the gas came from in order to cause this horrible tragedy. Now, 2 people died in this trailer. One was 65 and the other one was 64, if I remember correctly. And the family actually sued the gas company that the gas leaked from at the Yagi Natural Gas Field. I think is where the actual name of the place where it leaked from. I think that was the name of it, if I remember correctly. And that was, that's where it leaked from, and it traveled all the way underground to that particular spot, and that's where it erupted. Look looking online, I couldn't find an actual address of what particular trailer spot it was. It doesn't actually say. It just says the address of the trailer park itself, which is 2214 4th Street. Now, I couldn't find like I said, I can't find the exact spot. I don't know which one it was exactly, but I know it was in this location somewhere. It was one of these slots. That's about all I know. It's very interesting, the history that this little lot has to the city. And it makes you wonder, do these people here know about the history and the significance of this particular trailer park? Makes you wonder. Now our next location is the one that's more documented and more well known of the two places where they have erupted and exploded. There was a couple other locations that were like geysers with like natural water and natural gas coming up, but they didn't seem to explode or erupt, or at least to the caliber that these ones did that were in a town. This next one's in downtown Hutchinson, right on Main Street, so we're going to go to that location next. This next location brings us to downtown Hutchinson, to right about here. I wasn't exactly right on my assessment of where this actually was. This is the intersection here of Sherman and Main. And right here is the First National Bank. But if you go to the parking garage here, and then come across the street, is this parking lot here that is not being used by Kansas Land Tire. This right here was the location of the original Decor Party Store, which was like a local party city, essentially. But this is where the location of that store was when the gas explosion happened. As you can see, it's been completely cleared out now. There isn't really much remnants of any building that was here at any point now. But at one point, there was a store here. Slab right here, kind of goes to a step down. Makes you wonder if this was here when the explosion happened. Also makes you wonder if all these cracks are from that very same explosion. Really cool Cadillac right there too. Nice. There's the First National Bank. It's one of, if not the tallest building in the town. Right around the corner of the former Decor building. In fact, if you look here, you see some old paint chips and stuff. I wonder if that's a result of the explosion as well. Some of those bricks being damaged like they are. Who knows? Now, there really isn't a whole lot to show left of the significance of this location 20 years later. As you can see, there really wasn't much left. It's pretty hot out here, as you can probably tell by my face. It's really hot today. And my AC doesn't work on my truck, so yay. But it's been really interesting to come to these locations, actually find out where this happened. You know, it's really interesting. This is a significant part of this town's history. Despite it only being 20 years ago, it's one of the biggest things that happened. I think History Channel even made a piece on it at one point, which was the most publicity this town's gotten in years. You know, it's just a fairly small Midwestern town. So when something like this happens, it's a big deal, especially the locals. And the fact that it's been 20 years, I talked to a couple of locals while making this video, trying to find out the location of where this Decor was, and they knew exactly where it was, what they were doing, and what happened. How they were scared about wondering if there was going to be an explosion under their house and cause them to die, like those two unfortunate people in the trailer park. You know, it's just wondering. You know, it's scary. It must have been really scary. This is only 5 years after the. I got sweat going in my eyes now. It's very warm. It's only 5 years after the Oklahoma City bombing, which is only about 3 or 4 hours from here. So, really, people were really wondering. You know, especially when this first one happened, Decor, which happened 2 days before the mobile home park. I think for the mobile home exploded. This happened 2 days before, and this is probably what, 3 miles away from the mobile home. This one happened. People were wondering, you know, if it was the bank that blew up. It was so close. The lady I talked to, she actually was working at the bank at the time, and she felt the explosion and heard the explosion. And this is only 5 years after the Oklahoma City bombing, so they were wondering if the bank was getting robbed, if it was blowing up. Who knew? Nobody knew. So it's just crazy, you know, the response that the community had to this tragic event. You know, going to these locations really got me thinking. These places have just been like normal, everyday locations to me. You know, not having the chance to, not having to experience this, you know, happened so long ago and so many years before I was moved here. You know, I moved here, my family moved here 2 years before, or 2 years after rather, and I was like 2 years old when this explosion happened. And so it's just crazy how these places just like normal everyday buildings to me, and they have such significance to this town. So and nowadays, if you didn't know, you wouldn't think anything of it. So that's just one thing I wanted to bring up about it, and I think I'm gonna end the video with that. You know, so thank you guys so much for watching, and hope you enjoyed this. It's something a little different than what this channel usually does, but I have a couple more videos like this planned, and I want to see if you guys enjoy these. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.